You have recently gotten invested into a Gachapon game?
Yes, Gachapon games. Brendan, you should come and join us in the world of Gachapon.
I'm
We
not
have many
sure.
different games from South Korea, China, and Japan.
So I
And
only know
mostly Southeast Asia also.
Gachapon from playing I don't even know how these qualifies games. You put your money in and the prize comes out.
Yes.
Don't you win every time? How are the
You
Gachapons?
win something. You win something. So Gachapons, actually, in Japan, they're kind of these little I would say vending machines where you put like 1 or 2 or 300 yen. I think some of them can go up to like 500 depending on what the price is. And you see what there is, and there's usually these little like collectible tchotchkes of some sort. As Brendan brought it up here, and PewDiePie went there one time and he got like a whole bunch of random Gachapon things where you can even build these miniature computers or automobiles, or a whole bunch of things. And when you put your money in, you just turn the knob and it pops out a little Pokeball, for better or worse to describe it, and it's always a random item, and you gotta you try to collect it and stuff. So utilizing that same kind of concept of randomness and collection and stuff like that, and a lot of people constantly, if you're trying to collect a whole series of one type of set, you're going to keep popping into money, hoping you get, and then by the time you've spent $30 to get the full machine, you've already they got your money for $30 worth of money for something that probably cost $5 total to produce.
Okay, so you're talking about like loot boxes.
Yes, so Gachapon in the games concept is very similar to how we have the whole loot box thing in the Western portion of video games. The Gachapon difference is that it's sort of, it's very similar in that sense, but the Gachapon are primarily kept to the Eastern video gaming universe. So one of the more bigger ones that came out past several years that people know about or have heard is Genshin Impact. And it's very similar gameplay, look, style to like Breath of the Wild, where many people said it was a ripoff. But in the game itself, you collect various types of items that you can be able to then turn in basically, and at a random roll, get a different character that you can add to your collection and your team and such like that whenever you play the game. And it's usually in order to get the character, there's a much lower percentage of getting them if you're trying to get an individual. And you can, if you wanted to, you can always pay real world money to exchange for items in the game, in-game money, to then try to unlock these characters. And there's various types of events and promotional periods in these games where you can get this exclusive character if you do these bunch of miniature quests of some sort or collect these items, and then you have a chance to go and get this individual.
So is this game just based around collecting waifus?
Yes.
Oh my god. Alex.
Yes.
What is so apropos nothing, how's the marriage going these days?
Oh, it's great, man. Great. Wonderful. Yeah. She's watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine right now.
And you're telling me about your
she
waifu collection.
Me a new scarf, by the way.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's something. Nice. And you decided to repay her by spending your money on waifu collecting.
You know what? She made me go and put lotion on her feet tonight.
Would you give a guy a foot massage?
Fuck you. And I looked at the clock. I'm like, really, Erica? You waited until 5 to 9 to do this? I'm like, I got a show. I got man time.
I got work to do.
I got man time. Brendan's got me for the next couple of hours. But
I should have texted you and been like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to be able to do it tonight. You would have been massaging your feet and gotten so sad. And Erica would be like, so now I've got you for 2 more hours.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm tired. I'm going to bed, Erica. So I've played Genshin Impact, had some fun with it, played it to a certain point, and I was just like, okay, something else came out, caught my interest and stuff like that. And then a year or 2 ago, the same company came out with a similar game to this called Honkai Star Rail, where it takes place in
Star Rail? Fuck is this? What is this shit you're playing?
Honkai Star Rail, Honkai. And it's similar to Genshin, where it's takes place instead of like a fantasy medieval type of world, it takes place in space with this special train, different characters. The major difference between the two is that Genshin Impact is more of a real-time combat fighting game similar to Breath of the Wild, and then this one is a straight-up turn-based RPG mechanic like Final Fantasy VII. So I played that. I was like, I'm not really feeling it, don't like it. And then I found that there was another game called Goddess of Victory Nikke, which it's a mobile game, but they also now have a desktop version. I think there's also on console, where you have these waifus, android combat chicks with guns and blasting stuff. And that's the one I've been playing and greatly enjoying. And I could build relationships with them, take them on dates. I buy them fancy things, and then we go and blast up a bunch of robots that look like something out of the Matrix and stuff. So,
Alex, when did you pivot into being like a mega weeb? Like, when did this happen?
Well, I've been binge watching Lone Wolf and Son also.
Isn't it Lone Wolf and Cub?
Well, Lone Wolf and Cub, yeah, I'm sorry. But I don't know, I'm just kind of just reaching out to different types of games. I kind of very much that.
Okay, so I was looking into this Goddess of Victory Nikke.
Yes. Roppy is my waifu. I have that character.
So the first thing I click on...
Oh yeah, it's the summer skins.
Is this shot?
Yes.
What? So what's the gameplay? What do you do? What is this?
So the gameplay is like a cover shooter.
Cover shooter. Oh my God.
It's from South Korea. Please don't judge. So that's what the gameplay looks like.
Are you kidding me?
No. And they have special attack power-ups and stuff once you build like a certain burst limit. I have heard also. So then you do different types of quests, and there's different dailies you can do, and your daily login, and you do stuff like that. So it's been an enjoyable time so far.
What is with the breasts?
South Korean men,
men of culture.
They are very cultured men of culture. They porn's illegal in that country, and
that's true.
Yeah.
Porn is illegal. So you get Nikke Goddess of Victory campaign.
Yeah, it's either you go watch K-pop concerts or you go and play this game. That's it. I mean, there's nothing else you can do out there, chickle physics. Yeah. Do you remember Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball, Brenton?
I do.
Yeah.
But somehow, oh my God, her butt jiggles too.
Oh, there's lots of jiggling, dude.
Here we go. There's a nice, modest, conservative trad cath girl.
This is who you would be collecting on your squad. All the French maids.
Hey, well, I'm glad that this is working out for you.
I'm glad, because I went back to playing Like a Dragon, and it's all like turn-based like RPG combat, and I was just like, I'll come back to us one day. And I'm like, I need something else to wet my whistle, and I found this, and I've been enjoying it so far.
To wet your whistle?
Yes.
That's what you said.
to put it in a way, yeah,
bluntly.
But I'm just basically trying out new things. Don't want to be stuck in the whole thing. I kind of briefly thought about going back to Call of Duty Warzone, and I was just like, it's one of those games that you watch somebody else playing, and it's more fun watching it rather than playing it. Kind of like Tarkov. It just once you install it and you play like 5 minutes, you're just like, oh yeah, this is why yeah.
It's funny you mentioned this. I was thinking about because so after you unlock all of these girls, you have unlocked all of the anime women.
Mm-hmm.
In 3 years, they turn off the servers.
Mm-hmm.
What happens to all of your anime girls?
The waifus go away, man.
The waifus go away.
Waifus go away.
So what I'm wondering...
I text you and say, hey, man, you want to play Rust tonight?
Let's see some ball physics. I need to get
They should have it at that point. I think they should have Rust 2 at that point. Build out of Unreal.
Wait, didn't Cyberpunk have testicle physics? Wasn't that something that they like gloated about at one point? Because then the only time it ever did anything was when you switched between genitals, and then it would like bounce in.
Oh, when in the character creation?
Yeah, I think it's the only time it came into play.
Yeah, everybody, which is sad because it's like that's until you could like do some of that, like you could do the changes after you like when you're in the game. That was like the only time you could do stuff, which is like, okay, what's the point?
I'm looking at a closer look at crotch physics.
Crotch physics. That's another game I have to get back in to play. When I have the time.
So I was thinking about there's all these games that people we've switched over to this much more digital centric approach to video games where people aren't buying discs anymore or cartridges. It's all digital downloads, and you're finding situations happening like recent Sony stuff where entire games or demos or and Nintendo's done this also, are being taken away, and not just taken away from the store, taken away from your library. In fact,
they get listed.
Being taken away from accessing if you even downloaded them already. They're going onto your hard drive, Sony is, and taking your games away from you or your demos away from you. So then I started thinking about Steam.
Yep, that's...
And so what if it is not outside of the realm of possibility,
right,
that Gabe Newell is living in a house of Steam carts and it's
Turn
like
this in for gems.
He's been putting lots of bets on baseball games in New York.
Guys, knows this guy called Ipe?
Yeah, he's got this translator.
誰かに送金を依頼したことももちろん全く、ありません。
So I never bet on baseball or any other sports, or never have asked somebody to do it on my behalf. And I have never went through a bookmaker to bet on sports.
So
it turns out Gabe's
gave him some gems.
Valve is toast. Valve has no money. They're liquidating. Gosh. Steam is over. All of their contracts are being terminated because of a myriad of legal issues happening and breaking up the company into financiers and to bankruptcy debt collectors and whatever.
Martin Shkreli has like the beta file for Half-Life 3.
Right. But he's in jail and he won't release it until he gets out of jail.
No.
So then it's like, what does happen to all of your hundreds or thousands of Steam games?
I think, isn't there like the option where you can go offline and you're able to play the games offline? But the problem with that, I believe, is that if there are certain games that you have to be online in order to like, this ran into me when I got Ubisoft games. Ubisoft pulls this BS where you have to have a Ubisoft launcher in addition to the Steam.
Ubiplay or whatever that is.
Yeah, Uplay.
Ubiplay.
And what was it? Whenever I like most recently, I got Unity and Black Flag and stuff, and you start it up on Steam, and then it'll also open it up on the Ubisoft launcher, and then you have to confirm like the game on the Ubisoft launcher by entering in like your login password. And I'm like, why do I need to do this when I have Steam, which is a legitimate vendor of your game, and then I have to verify because they've got this stupid piracy thing for anti-cheating piracy thing on a single player game that's years old. That's kind of the downside with having to have like an online purpose for some of those games on Steam, but I do think there are a number that you can play offline. That's, just don't forget to like uninstall them in case you're like running out of space, because there's no way to get them back.
Well, that's what I mean.
Steam goes belly up.
Okay, but that also assumes that you've downloaded all of these games and just have them sitting on a hard drive.
Yeah.
So the
no
only
honeypop.
I have all my games downloaded. I have every single game that I bought downloaded.
Okay.
So I fear nothing. I fear no man but God. Gabe Newell.
An electrical surge.
Yeah, I fear no man but me getting drunk and deciding to try to change hard drives and bending all the cables or the pins, because that may or may not have happened once.
Oh, now you know.
Now I know. So this is from an older article, I think from 2022, that I looked up just out of curiosity. 2021. So wow, 3 years ago. That's older than it sounds.
Amy Winehouse was a meat platter back then.
Disgusting. In the unlikely event of the discontinuation of the Steam network, measures are in place to ensure that all users will continue to have access to their Steam games. The statement is almost a decade old. It wasn't much comfort even when it was issued. I like that it's sort of it'll be fine.
With these underground, they've got the servers running in the salt mines.
It is a eventuality that Steam will go away.
Mm-hmm.
That could be 10 years, 50 years, 100 years. But at some point, these Steam libraries, like it's already kind of like a situation of like, does Nicholas get to inherit your games? I would say he should.
I mean, I could give him like my login.
That'll be in your will.
So
I leave Nicholas my password to my Steam account of 5,000 waifus.
They've all been hidden and locked away.
Yeah.
It's like, Daddy, what are these games? I'm like, do not look at those. You're too young. Dad, I'm 45.
I was gonna say, like, what is like you're talking to him? He's like 45 years old. So it is.
Yeah,
you might be looking to fire up Megacraft Hentai Edition 20.
Great game, by the way.
Yeah. So it is. It's an interesting situation to consider. Like, and then it turns into like, what, Epic? Are they in a position to inherit?
Yeah,
all
or
of
GOG or somebody else that comes along the ride.
Right. They inherit, like, we're going to grandfather in your accounts and please buy all your games from us from now on.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a very generous thing for them to do, because, being like, okay, well, the only alternative now is, Epic or GOG, and it's like, well, if you want to play the games you had on Steam, you gotta rebuy them again, which I know there's people that have done that on multiple platforms and stuff like that.
And this article brings up the situation of, okay, so, and like, there's so much media now and all of this mythos surrounding lost media, and there's already games that are effectively lost at this point. Imagine Valve and Steam going away and all of the independent games that just vanish. In a lot of ways, there's content that we've produced that would qualify as lost media, aside from the fact that I have copies of them.
Yeah, the sole copy.
Yeah, we're here to find people dressed up as furries. I wonder, would the Easter Bunny in like a mall be considered a furry? You want a dog collar? No, be my bitch.
I was kind of upset that the very first Nikke that you get in the game, you don't get to have. You have to like she like dies, and I'm just like, she was my favorite. Why you do this to me? She didn't deserve this outcome. She was cute too. I liked her outfit. It was like white with like blue trim and stuff, and she had a little hat and a machine gun.
I'm sorry, Alex.
That's okay. She'll come out as a pillow one day.
She'll come out as like a $50 recovery. Like for $50, you can have your original waifu back.
Yeah. Or you can get one of those statuettes that cost like $400.